Good morning, everybody. Jason Sarney here with Phinmaniacs.com, and here's another edition of the Front Office. This episode, we're going to focus on the running back room. Last episode, we focused on one player, an undrafted free agent named Matt Cole, who I believe will become the team's gunner. But as we get further on into the show, we're going to, obviously lump those positions together, especially a running back room. This show will focus on why I believe that the Miami running back room, which is an RBBC, a running back by committee, is a better Super Bowl formula instead of, divvying up the money or the trade assets for a guy like a Todd Gurley, a Melvin Gordon, as we saw earlier in the offseason, and the rumors being with Dalvin Cook of the Minnesota Vikings wanting to hold out, a potential trade rumor there. Do not think that the Dolphins will go down that road. We're going to go through this video in a moment to show why with some moving highlights and a little bit of factual information on why the running back by committee is the better bet overall for really any team other than relying on one guy and spending the money. So without further ado, let's really jump in to the four running backs, three really, when you look at Matt Breida, Jordan Howard, Patrick Laird, but then you have X factor guys. You have Malcolm Perry, who was drafted recently a couple of weeks back, and now let's focus on Jordan Howard right now, who is currently from 2016 of all active rushers, the third leading rusher in the NFL. Zeke Elliott, Todd Gurley, the next two. What a trade on draft day for Matt Breida, essentially taking over a Kenyon Drake role, if you want to really talk about it. But let's talk about Jordan Howard first. He is a guy who has shown the ability to average well over 4 or even 5 yards per carry. His rookie year for the Bears, he averaged 5.2 yards per carry. For his career, hovering around that 4.3 mark. This is an individual who hits the middle of the offensive line, the gaps. He can get those tough yards, especially in the red zone. As you can see here, he's going to sniff the end zone, come real close here, runs hard, wanted to really get to that corner area of the end zone, hopefully got in, but he sets his teammates up. Matt Breida is an individual who could really do it all. He's entering his 4th season, and he can catch the ball out of the backfield. He can hit those huge chunk yard plays, has terrific cut ability, as you see here. And once he gets into the open field, very difficult to tackle him. He has a number of huge plays in his career, and that's what the Dolphins need as well. He can help out in the screen game, and he's a guy who does not like to go down after the first hit. Patrick Laird is also a guy who could help in the receiving game, as you can see here against the Patriots in Week 17. He had a terrific game, was utilized a lot in the passing game. He reminds me, speaking of the Patriots, of that third option like a Rex Burkhead, much like the other two runners I mentioned, like the duo of the Patriots, Sonny Michel, James White. You can call Jordan Howard that Sonny Michel. You can call Matt Breida that James White. This team is constructing themselves after the New England Patriots. And you can see here, Patrick Laird helps on special teams too, in for a terrific sophomore season. Rookie Malcolm Perry out of Navy, option quarterback, played a little bit of receiver here and there. So here's a guy who, if you think about it, who played quarterback in college, Julian Edelman. But Malcolm Perry's a better athlete. Look how he holds that ball. He does not even give the ball up after he scores. He holds it with his hands fully on it under his armpit, fingertip on the ball. It's a strategy to make sure you do not fumble. He is so disciplined, he does not even take that arm off the ball when he crosses the goal line. Again, I happen to love this kid. Every bit of tape that I watch, I love him. Will he throw the ball? Probably once or twice in his rookie year. I love this kid in 2-point conversion sets. Definitely keep your eye on him for short yardage plays, mixing in a ton of speed. He can really, really bring a lot to the table. As for Kalen Ballage, Myles Gaskin, I do not think that their fates are guaranteed. We'll see. Mentioned earlier, Todd Gurley, Melvin Gordon, Dalvin Cook, not guys they're going to go after. Here's why. A lot of these champions over the past 20 years were running back by committee. You have Jamal Lewis, you have Antoine Smith, you have Corey Dillon, you have Marshawn Lynch. That is really it of the huge workhorse type of backs. You have a lot of running back by committee. You see here in the 1999 season, Jamal Lewis was an absolute monster. They do not make him like this man anymore. That was the year the Ravens had that incredible defense. The Patriots, 4 of their Super Bowls were running back by committee championships. 2 of them, the first one, Antoine Smith led them. Here you see Corey Dillon. He was a workhorse. Marshawn Lynch. He was a workhorse back. That is getting few and far between these days. Last year's Super Bowl winner had a kind of 50-50 split in terms of their season touches based on injury, based on performance. You had LaShawn McCoy, you had Damian Williams, and as you can see here, same idea for Miami. Matt Breida, Jordan Howard, Malcolm Perry, Patrick Laird, all going to mix in to help out the Dolphins on the ground game. No need for a workhorse. So when you really think about it, let's talk about the trio in New England. Look how comparable they are to the trio from Miami. Throw in Malcolm Perry there as a comparable to Julian Edelman, and that's exactly what you're looking at in Miami. Once again, plain as day, New England South situation, and the Dolphins are building a backfield, not one runner. So when you add Matt Cole to this 53-man roster, starting to build, there's your gunner. Boom. He could be an excellent coverage man, could also help out in the return game. But as you can see on the top of your screen, he is going to be that Matt Slater type of guy. Let's throw in your punter and your kicker as well, Hack and Sanders, the Mountaineer men. So you have Cole, Hack, Sanders. Let's also throw in that running back by committee, which is going to be those 4 running backs plus fullback Chandler Cox. So we are building this roster. And now when you think about it, there's 65 jobs out there. A 53-man roster, plus you bring 2 players up for game day. They get sent back down to the practice squad during the week, but a practice squad of 10 or even 12 players makes it open competition to get one of those 65 jerseys overall for the Miami Dolphins. Thanks for listening. Jason Sarney for Phinmaniacs. Until next time on the front office.